Hey, Eagle fans, I'm Thomas Mott. Welcome to Philadelphia Eagles Now. Jumping into Eagles news and rumors here. A bunch of injury news we need to update you guys on in just 1 second. First, though, we are brought to you guys by our friends at BetQL. Go to chatsports.com/EaglesQL/. Use the pro discount code ChatEagles for 25% off their subscription offerings to help you beat your sportsbook and win a bunch of money this year. All of that information is down below in the description box. All right, let's start with the news here. We begin with Zach Ertz and a positive COVID test. Yes, on Monday, 2 days ago, Zach Ertz tested positive for COVID-19. It was confirmed it was not a contact tracing, it was not close proximity, it was him actually testing positive for COVID-19. Now, he's feeling fine, no big issues there. He is fully vaccinated against the virus, meaning right now he only has to produce 2 negative tests at least 24 hours apart, and then he's able to return to the football team. And so the odds and chances of him playing on Monday night, kind of a benefit there, you get an extra day, not Sunday, Monday night, seem to be pretty strong overall. So, not a big deal here. This is going to happen throughout the rest of the National Football League for really the foreseeable future, because if you're vaccinated, you can still get the virus, still test positive. But according to the protocol, as long as he has 2 negative tests of the past 24 hours, or at least within 24 hours, he should be able to be good to go. But away from practice today, and should be away from practice maybe tomorrow as well. We'll keep an eye on that. Ertz as a whole this season has been a little bit underwhelming. They haven't seemed to kind of use the tight ends that much this year. Only 4 targets for Zach Ertz, 3 catches, 40 yards. He's still great, and that's what's frustrating is he, of course, had injuries last year, didn't do much, and then this year, I want to see him be a feature of this offense. I think in general, you can say the Eagles need to use the tight ends more. Dallas Goedert is still a prolific weapon, and he had that touchdown catch late in the first half against the Falcons, but still, this is a football team that should utilize what are basically their 2 best pass catchers. I mean, no offense to Devontae Smith or, of course, Jalen Reagor, but the 2 best receivers on this team technically are the tight ends and Dallas Goedert and Zach Ertz, and they're weapons that you need to go ahead and get the football to. And so regardless if it's Zach Ertz plays this week or not, we need to see the Eagles offense utilize the tight ends a little bit more because they're reliable pass catchers, and they're both really, really good players. Like, Dallas Goedert should be a feature of this offense. I mean, I want to get the ball to Miles Sanders, I want to get the ball to Devontae Smith, Jalen Reagor, but you want to get the football to Dallas Goedert. Good things happen when he catches the ball. He's a matchup nightmare against tight ends, or really as a tight end against linebackers. I want to see the tight ends utilized just a little bit more, regardless, again, if Zach Ertz is out there or not. Okay, ad break, pin comment down below. Did you agree that the Eagles need to use tight ends more going forward? A lot of 12 personnel against the Falcons, not a lot last week in that loss against the 49ers. I want to see more, especially on Monday night against the Dallas Cowboys. If you agree, type Y down below for yes, or type N down below for no. Okay, the other more important, I would say, injury news, that is the Brandon Brooks pectoral issue that is not good, but it's not necessarily that bad either, right? So we have more details on this. We talked about it in Monday's video. That kind of happened, and it was like, oh my gosh, what's going on with his chest injury? Well, it is a strained pectoral muscle, and head coach Nick Sirianni said he will be placed on non-season-ending IR, meaning he has to miss at least the next 3 weeks, because that's how non-season-ending IR works. Like, it's going to go on the IR, that way you can get a roster spot back. He doesn't get to play for 3 weeks, but after 3 weeks, he can go ahead and come back. So it's not going to finish or ruin his season, but with the strained pec, I think his right side, it will limit his chances to go ahead and play in the foreseeable future, probably nowhere near, the next month. Honestly, out of all the injuries that could happen, as long as it's not lower body for Brandon Brooks, I'm fine with that, because again, it's been the lower body that's been the problem for him, and so a pec strain can be worked out, and he should be just fine and be back here toward the middle of the season is my prediction. Now, I'm not too worried about the replacement either. Landon Dickerson played pretty well at right guard in the later half of the second half, I should say, of that football game, and that's what Landon Dickerson was drafted to do. Like, he was drafted for this exact moment. Now, specifically, he's supposed to be the Kelsey replacement at center, but he has played guard in the past, and he's a really good player, and you spent a darn second-round draft pick on him. I know that we were all like, wow, how's he going to... Is a guy coming off of a significant lower leg injury in the national championship game? Is he actually going to be able to go ahead and play this year? And yet here he is playing in week 2. And so to me, that's great news. And I feel very good about Landon Dickerson's chances of being a very good fill-in at the right guard spot. He gets a whole week of practice now with Lane Johnson. Johnson mentioned in the post-game press conference after the 49ers game that he had hardly even stood next to Landon Dickerson, because Dickerson did miss the majority of training camp with that lower body injury. And so this week is going to give them a chance to get back together and hopefully be good to go. And I think the Eagles' offensive line as a whole is going to be absolutely fine. Like, I mean, one, you're playing against a Cowboy pass rush that, yes, Micah Parsons played well last week against the Chargers, but as a whole, you're not going to have to go against DeMarcus Lawrence at all, and so that's good news. But I think the offensive line still has played very, very well. They will be just fine, and Dickerson is going to go ahead and fill in at right guard for what will be at least the next 3 weeks. It could be a little bit longer. I'm going to take a look at the next couple of weeks here in just a couple of seconds. First, though, again, shout out to our sponsor for today's video, and BetQL. And as I mentioned earlier, the Best Bets computer model scans over 350,000 unique bets per year to go ahead ahead and give you the best odds for spreads and lines and over-unders and whatever you want to do in terms of betting. They give you 5-star bets, 4-star bets, 3-star bets. They essentially are your one-stop shop cheat sheet, to give you your best chances of winning some money each and every week in the National Football League. To jump in on this, go to chatsports.com/EaglesQL/. To get started, enter the discount code ChatEagles at payment and get 25% off any of their subscription offerings. You can find all the information on this as well as a way to get a free year of BetQL down below right now in the description box. As I mentioned, we go back to the Brandon Brooks discussion. He will be out for 3 weeks, and so here's your next 3 weeks, right? At least 3 weeks, I should say. At Dallas, we know, Monday night, tough matchup, we'll see. Chiefs, also a difficult matchup in Philadelphia. Then you get the Panthers, Bucks, and Raiders, which has turned into a tricky stretch here because we once thought the Panthers and Raiders weren't going to be that good, and now they both seem, well, they're both 2-0, and they're both playing pretty darn well. So it's a tough stretch here, so hopefully he's able to come back by, I would say, week 6 for the Bucks game, but if not, I think week 7 is a good target right now for Brandon Brooks to come back. But again, Philadelphia's not giving us an official time line on this. They just have him on short-term IR. So we'll keep an eye on this, but also hope that Landon Dickerson plays well going forward, starting on Monday against the Cowboys. As I said, this is a tough 5-game stretch. What's your prediction for the record for the next 5 games? I mean, honestly, if you're 2-3 over the next 5, that's not bad because these are some good football teams. Beat Dallas, beat the Panthers, and be close against the Raiders, and then be competent against the Chiefs and Bucks is my prediction. So 2-3, hopefully 3-2. Give me yours prediction for the next 5 games for the Eagles record. Okay, next story here we want to jump into is Jalen Hurts. And we talked about Jalen Hurts being really good on this channel so far. And yeah, there were some people who were a little down on him this past week when he lost to the 49ers, didn't throw a touchdown pass, and yet Pro Football Focus released their highest quarterback grade through 2 weeks in the NFL. And wouldn't you know it, Jalen Hurts is number 2 out of all quarterbacks in the NFL, according to Pro Football Focus, based on their entire plethora of algorithms and rankings and player stats and everything that they look at. Number 1, we'll show you in a second here, but Tom Brady was number 1. And so pretty impressive what Jalen Hurts has been able to do. He also hasn't thrown a pick yet, which is big, and I don't want to jinx him on this, like knock on wood, don't throw a pick against the Cowboys, but he has been very protective of the football. The accuracy has gone up, and these are all good news and good things for our starting quarterback. As I mentioned, he's number 2 in the Pro Football Quarterback rankings list. Brady is 1, no surprise there. Stafford is 3, and again, it's not just yards and touchdown passes. It takes into account, sacks and turnovers and playmaking ability and everything else that gets mixed in there. Cool under pressure, essentially. Cousins is number 3. Teddy Bridgewater is sitting there at number 4. Kyler Murray was off the picture there at number 6. With that being said, I do have one critique of Hurts and the rest of the offense. I think they need to open the offense a little bit more for Jalen Hurts. I think in the first week, they were playing against a bad defense, and so whatever they did in terms of the RPO system that they talked about running was pretty, easy to do, right? Hurts was able to do whatever he wanted against the Falcons defense. Against a better defense, though, it seemed a little bit conservative. Like the third down and 4 plays that they call just kind of runs up the middle. I'm going to try to put the ball in Hurts' hands and let him make a decision here. I think you got the tight ends, you have some wide receivers, get Hurts out on the run. I think they need to open it up just a little bit more for him because he is proven to at least be protecting the football so far, and the accuracy has gone up, and so I am all for Jalen Hurts getting a little more leverage, a little more leeway, a little bit of a longer leash in the offense, but so far so good according to Pro Football Focus. I mentioned earlier you can get a free year of BetQL. All you got to do is sign up with our friends at BetMGM and get your betting done with them. Chatsports.com/EaglesMGM/. Create that BetMGM account, deposit your first $10 into the account, bet the $10 this week, and you'll receive a free year of BetQL within 24 hours of your wager settling. And of course, that'll give you all the info and all the access to the 5-star bets, the 4-star bets, and everything else that comes with the BetQL software along with the BetQL app. We'll wrap up by talking about the matchup here. Obviously, Eagles at Cowboys on Monday night. We had a preview, we talked about that in the previous video, but this is a game that it feels like a must-win, even though it's not really a must-win because they could beat the Chiefs the week after, or beat the Bucks in a couple of weeks and be just fine, but it's a divisional matchup, and I think this is going to go a long way in flipping the narrative in terms of where the Eagles are at in the national media's mind, right? If Philadelphia lays an egg and gets beat by double digits, and then they're going to write us off and throw us to the curbside and anoint the Dallas Cowboys the next great team, I should say, in the NFC, let alone the NFC East. But if Philadelphia pulls off the upset, it'll shift the idea in the mind of the national media into saying, oh, wait, Philadelphia is actually pretty good, something I've said here on this channel for a very, very long time. Again, it's going to be tough. It's not going to be easy, but at the same time, I think right now Philadelphia has a chance to go on the road and pull off the upset. Dallas continues to be banged up on defense, and I think that the Eagles have had 2 weeks to see what their team is all about and can learn from it, and hopefully the extra day from Monday night gives them a little edge, even though both teams have that as well. Mentioned it last week, the Cowboys beating the Chargers was disappointing, and the Chargers offense has been a little bit lackluster so far this year. Dallas' defense played a lot better than they did did against the Bucs, so I'm curious what Dallas defense shows up against Philadelphia, but I do think that Philadelphia has a chance to go ahead and match up very, very well because of their defensive line, obviously because of their offensive line as well, and as long as Hurts doesn't turn the ball over, and if the Eagles can actually create a turnover against Dak and that Cowboy offense, I think they can go ahead and pull off the upset, hopefully coming up here on Monday night. I'll give my score prediction later on this week. Who do you have in this one? Give me your prediction down below right now in the comment section. Ultimately for today on our Philadelphia Eagles news and rumor video, be sure to go ahead and subscribe as we have a preview video coming up for this exact game tomorrow, and so stay tuned for that one because I'm going to give you my 5 keys to hopefully a big Eagles victory. But while you're at it, go down below and hit that red subscribe button. We would greatly appreciate it. Ultimately for today here on our Philadelphia Eagles Now video, I'm Mott signing off for the rest of your day.